Hi everybody, Kat here. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a great day. It's Monday morning, and tomorrow, Omid Scobie's new hit piece, Endgame, comes out. Are you gonna be buying it? Well, I'll tell you, you almost don't have to buy it. The Daily Mail has been providing us with excerpts from the book for days now. And we're learning a few things. We're learning a few things about Omid Scobie. We're learning a few things of his impression of the royals. Let's run down a couple of things. One of the most kind of interesting, funny ones, a couple of days ago, he was going on about how in the book, and this was in the Daily Mail, that King Charles is, how overindulged he is. He needs freshly steamed linen on his bed, and he's got someone to iron his shoelaces. His valet puts exactly an inch worth of toothpaste on his toothbrush and has it ready for him. These are not revelations, folks. This is not journalistic. This kind of stuff was written about Charles 30 years ago. I've heard it all. Omid is simply going, picking up things. Oh, Charles is such a bad man, and he's so indulgent in this and that, and all of these things. Well, we've known about him for a long time. Sorry, Scobie, this isn't a scoop. He is talked about today, in fact, how Meghan and Kate were encouraged to dress to imitate Princess Diana, because that would be good for the press and elevate their image. I mean, that's crap. And in the Daily Mail, so they've got pictures of, Diana in a blue dress, and oh my God, Kate's in a blue dress 30 years later. She must be imitating this kind of stuff. Oh, Diana wore a polka dot dress once. Look at Kate, she's in a polka dot dress. So this is what Omid Scobie's trying to say. And this, this comes straight from Meghan, because we have seen from the beginning how she has tried to mimic Diana. Diana 2.0, she wants to be Diana. She's trying to mimic all the things. And we know it. And I'll give you some examples in a minute here. But this is why I believe Meghan has instructed Omid Scobie to create this narrative that Kate and Meghan were advised to do this, to take the heat off Meghan and maybe diminish that element of her behavior. We know from the get-go, first time she met Harry, she wore Diana's favorite perfume. We've seen multiple photographs where she's in an almost identical getup. We've seen photographs of her, in the same kind of clothes, like that blouse tied at the waist, sunglasses hanging off her cleavage, and, hands on her hips, an identical pose to one that Diana had done and that was published. We know this about Meghan, her behavior and all that. We know that Diana had some mental health issues with depression and bulimia and all the things. Well, so it comes out, Meghan tries to play the mental health, and she was ready to commit suicide, and nobody would help her, and all, she's played all these things. The near catastrophic car chase at 3 miles per hour in New York, that they jumping in and out of a cab, getting multiple photographs by backgrid. That was a real dangerous drive, I tell you. She's trying to mimic everything that Diana's done, down to the tennis bracelet, which is a replica, down to other pieces of jewelry that we know, the butterfly earrings, they're replicas. They're not Diana's jewels. We know this. You look at them up close, you can tell. Meghan has made a point of imitating Diana as often as she can, because this does a couple of things. 3 things, in fact. In her mind, because she's crazy, it reinforces the fact that she is Diana 2.0. It does, in the public mind, she's hoping, create a synergy, a bond between Diana and her, so that people start seeing her as Diana. I mean, it's not happening, but this is what she wants to happen. And probably more important than any of that, Harry is so weak and so easily manipulated, and she puts forth characteristics of his mother and invents events that mimic Diana's life. And in Harry's fractured, damaged psyche, he begins to believe that Meghan is reliving events as Diana did, and it makes him fear for her. So it's a whole thing. But this bit in the Daily Mail, I mean, yeah, they're reporting what he said, and what he's saying is that, yeah, Kate and Meghan were told to imitate Diana. Just not true. And of course, we're hearing again that, oh no, Meghan and Harry had nothing to do with this book. Well, if they had nothing to do with this book, how can there be excerpts of private conversations held between the king and Harry? How'd that get out? Was Scobie hiding behind a curtain in the Blue Room, when they were having this conversation? How does he know all of these? Is he just that good of a journalist? No. Of course, Meghan and Harry and or close friends and associates of them are feeding information to Omid Scobie. Remember back when Cry of Freedom, or whatever the hell their first book was, called, they escaped the horribly racist bonds of the royal family, and Omid Scobie wrote all about it, and it, Meghan said herself, it rivals the life story of a South African president, finding freedom, 25 years in a South African jail, but 16 months in the royal family was equivalent to that, according to Meghan Markle and Omid Scobie. And, they claim they had nothing to do with that. And don't you know, it wasn't until they were in court over the letters between her and her father, which she knew were going to be leaked, and that was the plan, when it came out in court that there was a whole email chain between her and Jason Knopf, who was their assistant at the palace at the time. And Meghan was telling him to cooperate and indeed pass information along to Omid Scobie on her and Harry's behalf. And, it comes up in court, and oh my gosh, she forgot all about this, weeks-long email chain, she forgot she ever had these conversations with Jason Knopf and about talking to Omid Scobie. She apologized to the court for forgetting, after she had said, no contact at all. We had nothing to do with this at all. That's called perjury. She wasn't called on it. She was allowed to just, oopsie, apologize. Is she going to do this again when it comes out that there's obvious fact, provable fact, that she indeed did cooperate in some way, whether directly or through someone else for this book? We know this, and we know that Omid Scobie is their mouthpiece. You can tell already by the excerpts that have come out the particular slant of this book is taking. Everybody in the royal, now not only is there, Oprah Winfrey, oh, there's a racist in the royal family, asked about Archie's skin color before he was born. Several conversations, Meghan said. Harry comes on, no, there was only one conversation, and it had nothing to do with Meghan. It was him and somebody else. And it was, at a different time. So they can't even agree on themselves. And then later, when Harry had that interview with, what's his name from ITV, the one that they befriended quite a while back, and was asked about the racist claims, oh no, we never said that. Contradicting it again. And yet now, Omid Scobie is coming out and saying, not only was there one racist, there's two. So who's lying? Meghan, Harry, Omid Scobie. They're all lying. This is just to stir up trouble. The only way Meghan and Harry can stay relevant is to stir up trouble and badmouth the royal family. That's what they're known for. They play the victim. That's all they've got, is their association with the royal family. And now that members of the royal family won't have anything to do with them, all they can do is keep putting out scurrilous claims against them. That's it. That's all this book is about. This is all it's about. And they can crow all day long how they had nothing to do with it, but we know better. I wouldn't waste my money on this book. You're not going to get any revelations. You're going to get Charles is an indulged old man that has somebody do his toothpaste and iron his shoelaces. We knew this 30 years ago. That's nothing new. Anybody could have written that. That is not a new revelation. We know, simply because of the fact that Meghan and Harry are liars, that anything they've said in the book can't be taken as truth. Most of what's going to be said in the book won't be able to be corroborated because nobody in the royal family they're not going to respond. They're not going to respond publicly. The way they've been responding to Harry and Meghan lately is by purposely icing them out. That's what they have to do. Like, no, you don't belong here. Say whatever the hell you want, but you're not getting back. You've been kicked out of the club. And that's that. And now that Meghan and Harry's life is going a little bit sideways, Hollywood hasn't accepted them. The elites haven't accepted them. The celebrities haven't accepted them. Politics doesn't want to have anything to do with Meghan Markle. When governors block your phone calls, you kind of know that you're not wanted in those circles. And this is what's happening. Their only currency is bashing the royal family, royal secrets. they're so far removed from that now. They need to keep it going. And, so it pops home at Scobie. There you go. This is just another play. Omid's gonna get, he'll have a nice payday over this, because scurrilous or not, people are gonna buy the book. He'll get a nice payday out of this, I'm sure. Meghan and Harry will get a cut, and it keeps their names in the paper, keeps people talking about them, and at this point, any publicity's better than none. I mean, that's kind of the celebrity motto, and that Meghan subscribes to that. She wants, and we've heard in the past how with her other PR people, she wanted, 7 positive stories a day, and and people, and this and that. This is the kind of overload she wanted to portray. Like, she's just that fabulous. She had to be in the paper every day. And this is another mimicry of Diana, because we know Diana, all she had to do was step out her door and 1,000 photographs would be in the paper the next day. That is because she was world famous, loved by the world, respected by the world, empathized with. Everybody knew her story. We didn't mind that she wasn't perfect. She wasn't a saint. She had her faults. She was willing to talk about them. She was willing to share about them, and that made us feel even closer to her. Like, she is the people's princess. She is like one of us, because she's not acting like she's way up here above us. She's showing her humanity in everything she does and everything she says. And that is why Diana got the love and respect she did. Meghan wants that desperately. It's never gonna happen. Never gonna happen. I mean, when she married into the family, what an opportunity, if she really was a philanthropist and interested in creating a better world and doing charitable works and public works. What a better opportunity than a princess of the kingdom, Duchess of Sussex. If she'd have done her job, stayed in her lane, she would still be well respected. But, she in her head, that Hollywood sort of celebrity thing is what she wanted, what she understands as fame, what she understands as popularity is, a red carpet moment. And recently when WME bought her that place at that recent awards banquet, and she got on the red carpet, she's an absolute nobody compared to everybody else that was there. And she was, it's so good to be back. She was never in Hollywood. She was in Toronto. She was never part of the Hollywood elite scene. And she was gloating and so happy to be, she had to be pushed off the red carpet, get out of the way. It's embarrassing. And so they're really spinning their wheels. They're going nowhere. They're really hoping this book by Omid Scobie will boost their popularity again, will buy them some sympathy with the public again for a time. That's all they can do. They're running in neutral now. They're out of gas. The world is tired of them. The world's tired of Omid Scobie. But there's going to always be some dingbats and supporters that are going to buy the book. He'll do just fine. He again, with his association, all he's got to hang on to Harry and Meghan. That's all he's got. because although he calls himself a royal reporter, he is not respected by any of the ones that we've ever heard about. They don't talk with him. They have nothing to do with him. He is not part of the royal rota. He's just a rogue mouthpiece for Harry and Meghan, and, you know, so he's like a low-level scribbler, you know, hanging on the coattails of Harry and Meghan, which are a losing proposition. So may they all go down with the ship. Anyway, that's my thoughts. Buy the book if you like. I'm sure there's going to be even more excerpts in the newspapers. I don't think you really have to spend the money to get the gist of what's going on. My opinion. Have a great day, everybody. Like, subscribe, leave me a comment. I'd love to hear what you have to say about all of this. And if you'd like to, you can support this channel. Buy me a coffee. The link's in the description. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.